weekend where I get to go live with one of my friends who also happened to be a speaker at Growth Now Summit Live. We talk about their expertise, we share some knowledge with you guys, and then of course we tell you about Growth Now Summit Live and why you should join us. But before I bring this week's guest, Brian Hart, onto the screen, just checking in. If you guys haven't listened to this week's episode with Gabby Bernstein that dropped this morning, go check it out. People are loving it. They're letting me know in my inbox. So go check it out. I think it's a really powerful and important message for you guys to hear. What up, Cav? How are you, buddy? But I'm bringing my buddy Brian Hart up here, and we're going to talk a little bit about PR and getting your name out there, and how do you go about doing it, and then how do you utilize it to help grow your brand, grow your business, grow your platform. And as you guys know, so many people or if you guys know my story, without PR, I wouldn't have been able to build what I built. Now, obviously, knowing Brian, he put me on a list, and I got super lucky. What's up, Lauren? That's weird calling you Lauren. So, but I got pretty lucky. He put me on a list, and it changed my life. But it wasn't necessarily just being on that list. It was how I utilized that. And so I want to go live with him and share all that information with you. He just popped in. I just needed a request to come up and share the screen here with me. So really, really excited to bring Brian up here with you guys of PR. And we're going to get into it and hopefully share some tips and tricks with you guys that you can utilize in your business and your journey. What is up, brother?
Justin, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Dude, I love the views. You gotta show everybody the view of Philadelphia.
All right, so I got my Sixers hat on. If you look way back, you're going to see the Wells Fargo Center.
I love it.
Right below me is Broad Street. There's going to be a parade there this year because we got James Harden, we got Joel Embiid, we got the process, baby.
Dude, I love it. I love it, man. I love it. So I'm excited to go live here with you for a couple minutes and just talk about PR and utilizing it to grow your brand and your business. And obviously you've founded Flackable, which is a go-to PR company for so many individuals, founded out of Philadelphia, but you work with people all over the country, if not outside of the country. Talk a little bit about what is PR? Because I think people are going to watch this and potentially go, I don't even know what these guys are talking about.
Well, it's because the term gets thrown around so much and gets misused and mischaracterized, and people create their own definitions for it. So let me tell you how I break it down. Here's how I approach public relations. To me, it's all about earning and leveraging third-party credibility. And especially when you're in a service-based business, that's the hokey pokey. I mean, that is what it's all about. Earning and leveraging third-party credibility. Earning its PR. That's getting on TV. That's hanging out with amazing podcasters and having cool conversations with them. That's getting quoted in the Wall Street Journal or getting quoted in your local paper. But that's only step one. Now, to complete the process, you've got to leverage it. You have to fully integrate it into your greater marketing and branding verticals. And when you pull it all together, that's what I call credibility marketing. And that's what I've been about my entire career.
Yeah, and it's so true. And obviously, as it becomes easier and easier and easier to buy a microphone, record a podcast, try and get on stage, it's easier to publish a book, all these things. I think adding credibility to what you're doing changes the game, right? Like, why do people come to me and say, hey, I want to learn podcasting. Hey, I want to come to your event. It's because Inc. Magazine said, hey, you're a top 8 podcaster. Like, it adds credibility right off the bat. What have you seen that do for individuals when they begin to get in front of the right people and get mentioned in certain publications?
Yeah, I mean, when done the right way, it's a game changer. Now, when brands come to me, it's one of two kind of situations they're looking for. They're either looking for a short-term PR blitz where they can just check off the bucket list and be able to put a big banner on their website that says "as seen in," and for some of them, that's good enough. Now they have added legitimacy to their brand, and once you've been quoted in a certain publication, once you've been on a certain network, you have that for forever. That's always going to be a part of your brand, that you were there once. Now, if you want to go a step further and really build a credibility marketing strategy, that's when it's not just a one-time short-term blitz, but it's just a natural part of your brand. You wake up, you eat breakfast, you go on CNN, and you service some clients. And clients who go about it that way, yeah, I mean, it's everything to them. So what have I seen? I mean, I have helped, some of my clients over the years double, triple, quadruple in size.
Wow.
And even
Wow.
more. You know, I'm not taking credit for all of that. I mean, it's typically an amazing brand that contracts me in the first place, but
Yeah.
not always. Sometimes they've got an amazing service and just amazing people, but they don't know how to communicate that message. And that's where we add value as well. We help them break it down. We get to the point. I mean, what are you fighting for day in and day out? What is the pain in the marketplace that you're out there solving and resolving for people? And why are you doing that? What are you fighting for? And, when we get to that level, then I can make it sexy to the media, and then we start incorporating that to the brand, and you've got the domino effect from there.
Yeah, dude, I love that. And one important thing you said, like, these people have great brands to begin with. They have great business to begin with. They have the why behind what they're building, and then you just add the secret sauce of getting in front of the right people in order to blow up the brand. So let's talk a little bit about that. How do people know they're ready for PR? How do people know they're ready to get in front of, because they have to do all that work to prepare themselves first. So what's that moment of like, okay, now I think we're finally ready to go talk to a Brian?
Well, I mean, I've had potential customers come to me, and I look at their website, and I'll come back to them and say, you're not ready. Because they don't have just the basic infrastructure to get the value out of PR that they should. I mean, if you do not integrate PR into your branding and marketing strategies, then all you're getting is publicity. And, unless you're a big time celebrity, publicity is worthless. I mean, publicity almost never translates directly into real business results. Certainly not sustainable business growth. Now, when you bring it all together with credibility marketing, now you've got something. But if you don't have a basic email list, a relevant social media presence that you can leverage this stuff on, if you've got a website that was built 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, without updating, I mean, take another look at it, before you invest in PR. I mean, what we do not do paid media. So we're not, listen, if I see a good paid media opportunity, I'm going to take it to my client, of course. But what we focus on is organic media coverage. So they're not paying for the media coverage. They're paying me, of course, my team, for the work that we do and the talent that we give them. But they're not, directly paying for media. They're getting organic media through us. So, no, I mean, they have to keep all of that in mind, before jumping into this. And again, making sure that they can capture this organic media and leverage it directly to their target markets. And I'll take that just one step further. Sometimes, I'll bring on a client. We work with a lot of wealth management firms, and I'll start talking to them, and they'll be like, yeah, we're not interested in the advisor media. That doesn't reach our clients. And I'll tell them, okay, but say we get you a big profile in one of the big trade publication magazines. Is that going to directly hit your clientele? Absolutely not. But when you put that big profile on your website and you get it out on social media and you put it in your email marketing, now you're directly hitting your target audience and positioning yourself as a leader among your peers. And that means something. That's got a lot of value.
Yeah, and I love that you talk about that stuff, because I think, we live in this false world now, especially like with the brand that I've built. I get reached out all the time, people being like, hey, I can pay your way onto this list or get onto this thing and do. Well, guess what? SEO is starting to pick up on that, and it's immediately going to kick that down the road and be like, well, this was paid for, so we're not going to really utilize that, right? Like, I know that Instagram, if you want to get verified, it all has to be organic. It can't be paid, and it's got to be a lot of it. And obviously the verification is a powerful tool going forward. But I love that you openly talk about that, because it's not just getting the press. It's getting the right press and then utilizing it as a tool to grow your business. And that's such a masterful way to look at it. It's just the first step of many, right? Like, I didn't even know what I was doing, by the way, when you did the Inc. magazine thing at the end of 2017. I was like, oh, I'll just keep using this. And it worked out. But I really learned, like, that's how it's done, right? Because I'm friends with other people that were on that list. and they didn't have the growth. They didn't have the sustained growth, right? And it's such a huge thing, man. So I'm glad that you're real and honest about that. And I'm happy to have you at Growth Now Summit Live to bring your wisdom to the room, to fill those individuals with so much knowledge that they can run with and take it and grow their business and all the other things in between, dude. So I'm going to put you on the spot like I put everybody on the spot as I go live with them during these. What are you looking forward to most at your second Growth Now Summit Live? So did you do a virtual one too, or did you just do the one in 2019?
I was at the first, the original, and now I'm coming back for the second time. I definitely want to see some familiar faces, and I fully expect to, and I cannot wait because there's a few of them I've talked to virtually since then. A lot of them, I mean, we're still connections to this day. We're connected on LinkedIn and social. We've called each other, sent emails since that event. I'm ready to see them in person again. I think we're all ready to have some face-to-face time with a lot of people. Justin, I haven't seen you face-to-face in way too long.
It's been way too long.
At least
it's been way too long.
Yeah. So I mean, that is very exciting. I can't wait to meet some of the new faces that are going to be there too. You know, I was looking at just some of the speakers that you've got, and you know, just the attention that you're getting around the event. And there's going to be a lot of, you know, new faces who are experiencing this for the first time, you know, as a live event. So I'm excited for them.
Yeah, man.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait to hang out in person with you. And like you said, all the other speakers. Anybody watching this now or on the replay, join us, growthnowsummit.com. You can grab your tickets now. And here's a little thing that I've added and I've lightly sprinkled out through the internet, which I have to let people know. If you can't make it because you're watching this from some other country or you're hearing this somewhere else, I've actually added a free virtual option where you get to see the main stage. So you'll see Brian on Saturday along with all the other speakers and panelists. And so it's growthnowsummit.com. You can grab a free virtual ticket. But more importantly, like he said, the power is being in the room, building the relationships, becoming a part of a community. So growthnowsummit.com, grab your ticket, super affordable. Join us, have a ton of fun with us because that's really what it is. And I'm looking forward to it, man. Brian, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your time, brother.
Justin, appreciate it always.
Yeah, man, we'll talk soon.
I'll see you soon. Yep.
Yeah.
Peace.